President-elect Donald Trump asked a Georgia appeals court on Wednesday to end the criminal case against him in that state for attempting to overturn his 2020 election loss. Lawyers for Trump argued that his continued prosecution by Fulton County District Attorney Fani Willis would violate the U.S. Constitution as he prepares to return to the White House next month. His lawyers also argued that continuing to prosecute him would undermine his ability to govern. They urged the appeals court to remove Trump from the proceedings and to order a lower court judge to dismiss the case against Trump in its entirety. The other co-defendants can continue to press their appeal if Trump is removed from the case. A spokesperson for Willis did not immediately respond to a request for comment. Trump and 14 others face racketeering and other charges in Georgia for allegedly forming a criminal conspiracy to reverse Trump's narrow defeat in the battleground state in the 2020 election. Trump has pleaded not guilty and has argued that the case, and others he has faced, were politically motivated attempts to damage his campaign. Federal prosecutors have already dropped 2 criminal cases against Trump based on a Justice Department policy against prosecuting a sitting president.
South Korean President Yoon is now set to face an impeachment vote in parliament this weekend. On Tuesday, Yoon made a botched attempt to implement martial law, with parliament lifting the order only hours later. But that wasn't before a chaotic night that saw armed troops deploying in the National Assembly and clash with lawmakers. On Thursday, the country's opposition Democratic Party said they'll put up a vote Saturday evening over whether to impeach Yoon. The opposition needs at least 8 ruling party votes to pass the bill. His ruling party is divided, but has said it will oppose impeachment. If the bill passes, South Korea's constitutional court will decide on impeachment in up to 180 days. Also on Thursday, Yoon accepted the resignation of Defense Minister Kim Yong-hyun. Kim had recommended Yoon declare martial law on Tuesday, according to the Interior Minister, a senior military official, and the filing to impeach Yoon by opposition members. In a parliament hearing Thursday, Vice Defense Minister Kim Seon-ho said that his former boss had also ordered the deployment of troops. The vice minister also said he had been unaware of the martial law order until Yoon announced it. The martial law plan sought to ban political activity and censor the media. It sparked public anger in South Korea's streets and set off international concern. Yoon has been seen by Western leaders as a partner in the US-led effort to counter rising authoritarianism. On Wednesday, U.S. Secretary of State Anthony Blinken said he had not been informed about Yoon's plans in advance, while his deputy called it a serious mistake.
Humans age faster in space, and this new research may find out why. Scientists could also find ways to slow down age-related health issues, all without having to use astronauts. Human tissue samples from Oxford Space Innovation Lab are in orbit on the International Space Station. Meanwhile, Dr. Ghada Al-Saleh is leading a team which observes identical cells on Earth.
And we would be able, by comparing and analyzing the data coming from these 2 different organoids in the International Space Station and also on Earth, to be able to study the process of aging and the impact of the microgravity and the space in general on the aging process.
Decades of space travel have revealed how microgravity, the sensation of weightlessness, affects the human body, diminishing bone density and weakening the immune system. And Al-Saleh's goal is to discover methods of slowing age-related illness, whether someone is on Earth or up in space.
Astronauts suffer from muscle atrophy, a problem with their joint, with their bone, and also with the immune system. When we noticed this, we found that this actually at some point similar to a different age-related disease. And this led us to ask the question if the space might provide us with an accelerating aging model. And if it is the case, that means we can actually be able to study aging very faster, because this has happened in very short time, while aging on Earth needed different years.
Plans for missions to Mars and even beyond make finding a solution more important.
L'adoption 331. French opposition lawmakers brought the government down on Wednesday, throwing the European Union's second biggest economic power deeper into a political crisis. Prime Minister Michel Barnier lost the no-confidence vote after far-right and left-wing lawmakers teamed up on the motion. It's the first time a French government has lost a confidence vote since 1962. The crisis was ushered in by President Emmanuel Macron, who called a snap election in June, resulting in a polarized parliament. Barnier is expected to hand in his resignation to the president on Thursday, according to French media reports. France risks ending the year without a stable government or a 2025 budget, though the constitution allows special measures that would avert a US-style government shutdown. Opposition lawmakers punished Barnier for opting to use special constitutional powers to adopt part of an unpopular budget without a final vote in parliament. It sought 60 billion euros in savings to try to shrink the deficit. Far-right National Rally Party leader Marine Le Pen. This budget doesn't just attack France, it takes French people hostage, she said. The European Union has already been reeling from the implosion of Germany's coalition government, with this turmoil weakening it even more. It all comes just weeks before US President-elect Donald Trump returns to the White House. 3 sources told Reuters that Macron is aiming to install a new prime minister swiftly. One source said the president wanted to do that before a ceremony on Saturday to reopen the Notre Dame Cathedral. Any new prime minister would face the same challenges as Barnier in getting bills, including the 2025 budget, adopted by a divided parliament. There cannot be a new parliamentary election before July. Macron's rivals say the only way to end the crisis is for him to resign, something he has so far shown little inclination to do.